Banning the Bible in California. Could it happen? Yeah, I think so. Based on the bill that is working its way through the California legislature, the state assembly just passed by a wide margin a bill, Assembly Bill 2943, that would make it an unlawful business practice to engage in a transaction intended to result or that results in the sale or lease of goods or services to any consumer that advertise, offer to engage in, or do engage in sexual orientation change efforts with an individual. The bill now just needs the approval of the state Senate in California and the signature of Governor Jerry Brown, which could come before the end of May. Now, what kind of goods are capable of changing behaviors? Books, perhaps? Like the Bible? Or would this law simply be used to prosecute pastors who preach biblical morality in the state of California? This is radical. And it just goes to show that progressives who control the legislature in California really are the fascists that they claim to hate. Christian orthodoxy on the subject of sexuality is pretty simple. Regardless of how you are tempted, and men, we are tempted on a daily basis. Regardless of how we are tempted, sex is reserved for the marriage. And marriage, I shouldn't have to define, but I will, between a man and a woman. When it comes to gender expression, there's no difference between sex and gender. Your biology determines your identity. And gender dysphoria, the correct Christian response to gender dysphoria, is love, compassion, and treatment, not indulgence and surgical mutilation. There's a fundamental difference between temptation and sin. This bill makes it illegal to preach on the difference between the two. California law would intrude directly on this teaching by prohibiting even the argument that regardless of your desires, temptation, a person's sexual behavior should conform to biblical standards, which could ultimately result at some point in the future, the banning of the Bible in California.